Well, joining me now from Abuja is Buba Galadima. He's the chairman of the reformed All Progressives Congress, which split from the ruling party to join the opposition. In London, we have Kayode Ogundamisi. He's a political commentator specialising in Nigerian affairs. And completing our panel is Philip Idaewor. He's the chairman of the UK chapter of the ruling All Progressives Congress. Gentlemen, good to have you on the Newsmakers. Buba Galadima, let me begin with you. Tell me, sir, why you split from the president?
Well, let me first tell you my antecedents. I was one of the few people who had been with Mr. President for the last 16, 17 years. We brought him into politics, and we have remained with him and promoted a course up to this level. However, and I was also one of the 9 signatories that signed the formation of the APC at its initial stage as one of the national secretaries of the merging political parties that gave birth to the APC. I'm also a member of the board of trustees of the APC. I'm also a member of its national caucus. These are my credentials. We had a reason why we formed the APC: to run a better democratic government under the rule of law and transparency, fight corruption, rejuvenate Nigeria's economy. However, 3 years into our administration, all these things that I have mentioned had become a lost dream. Therefore, having made the sacrifice to form this party, people like me cannot stay idly on the sidewalks of history and allow my country drift into collapse by nepotism, by corruption, and by misgovernance.
Right.
This is why we took the bull by the horn and tried to form the reformed APC just in case our efforts will yield the result, unite our country, and so far I want to report that it has received a tremendous support and solidarity.
If you allow me to come in here, sir,
from all men and women.
I have to give the others on the program a chance here. I want to get Philip Idaewor to respond to this. So, Philip, we have somebody who's a founding member who was close to Buhari saying, we trusted the man, we put the man in power, he hasn't delivered 3 years on. This is why we have to take drastic action. How do you feel about that, Philip?
Well, first of all, let me send my greetings to Mr. Galadima, and to say that listening to him speak about all these contributions to the formation of our party, the All Progressives Congress, he should receive accolade for all of those contributions and efforts. But I have to say that listening to him, he comes across to me as an elder statesman who, along the line, was following a human being, without the focus on an ideology. Now, my understanding of political engagement, and as a political activist and a member of the All Progressive Congress, is this: that the reason APC exists is to shift the movement, the gaze away from the previous rut of political possibilities that face our country. The ruling party in the past, the PDP, was clearly a party that was bent on running Nigeria aground. APC was formed, as Mr. Galadima said, to refocus Nigeria to the path of national development and national morality. For him, 3 years, just 3 years on, to say that he lost faith, in a man, not in the party. He lost faith in a man.
And I'm going to give him a chance to respond to that.
It comes clearly across to me that he didn't have an ideology. Rather, he believed in the human being.
Fair enough. And I'm going to give Mr. Galadima a chance to respond. But I want to bring in Kayode for the moment. Kayode, we have almost 40 political parties uniting in opposition to Buhari, including his former colleagues and friends such as Buba. Is it going to work? Is this going to oust Buhari?
Let me correct you. We have 40 political parties on paper. But if you're an ardent follower of Nigerian politics, out of those 40 political parties, you probably just have 39 briefcase parties who are appendages of the PDP or the APC. These parties do not exist anywhere in Nigeria. They exist on the registrar of the Independent National Electoral Body, which is the body that conducts Nigeria's election. So the political parties are there in name. An example, an election was just conducted in a state in southwest Nigeria called Ekiti State. 39, almost 40 parties took part in the election. 39 parties had 1% of the votes. The remaining percentage was shared between the ruling PDP and the APC. So as a coalition, it is not a threat to Buhari. But what is a threat to Buhari is the fact that within his political party, there are very active members who are close to him who are pulling out of that of his party, and there are people within his own party, the APC, who are not pulling out, but who are, of course, acting as spoilers within his party for whatever reasons they choose to be. So right now, to judge whether it's a threat to Buhari will depend on the candidate the opposition party, the main opposition party, the PDP, presents to the Nigerian people. Clearly, people are not happy with the Buhari administration, people within his parties and outside his party, especially when it comes to the way he has handled security in the middle belt and central, not central.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about that in a moment, certainly.
So
okay.
I don't think this coalition is a big threat.
Okay. Okay, Kayode, let me come in here. Let me get a response from Buba Galadima, because so we're having you saying you don't think the coalition is a big threat. Let me ask you, Mr. Galadima, to respond to both gentlemen. We have Kayode saying this coalition isn't going to be a big threat. We have Philip Idaewor saying, listen, maybe you have a problem with the man and not the party. Maybe this is just a personal difference you have with President Buhari because you gave him 3 years to fix everything, and that's not long enough.
Well, the truth of the matter is that one vote can make a difference. One vote can produce the president of the United States of America, China, or India. One vote. And all these parties are known to the law. They are known to the Electoral Commission. We don't believe that 40 votes minus 40 votes cannot make a difference. That is to say that. Two, I want to tell you that the government which we formed has performed woefully, and is because we campaigned on certain promises, and these promises are not delivered to the electorates. This is why there is this disenchantment, there is this disillusion, there is this dissatisfaction across our country. And it is only men and women of goodwill and courage that must be able to come out and say, me having made a sacrifice of my life, arrested and detained 38 times, tried for treason because of this movement. We had, as you know, certain principles why we follow General Buhari, but all those principles have been thrown into the dustbin. All our ideas about running a democratic, principled, and a government under the rule of law had been bastardized. Therefore, it is our view that we placed our integrity on this. Therefore, we cannot be there when the ship will wreck. And they say, why didn't you say anything while the ship was going adrift in the mid-seas?
Okay.
That is the issue.
Okay, so Philip, the
that
ship is sinking.
The issue before the country.
Okay, Philip,
I want to tell
hold on for a second, sir.
And that Kayode, my friend.
Right. Okay, okay, fine. Respond to Kayode then, if you can, very briefly, please, sir. Respond.
Well, what I'm trying to say is that we won election on certain promises to the Nigerian people. We have not delivered on those promises. And me, as a principled and somebody of integrity, cannot sit idly and watch this ship adrift.
Okay.
Therefore, we had come in to rescue the situation. We had come in to reform the party. And if we refuse to reform, you know that the nation can throw us out of power.
Okay.
And those who have held the position should have to account for their misdeeds.
Okay, so
because we promised to deliver 3 years into our rule, we have not seen anything tangible on which we can campaign again for the success of Mr. President or the party which we formed.
Okay, hold your horses, Kayode. Philip Idaewor, add to all of that the man is 75 years old and he hasn't been well. That's something that's really upset a lot of people because they feel, why go for another term? You've not been well. You're not the youngest person. Make space for someone else.
Well, I mean, true, the man is 75 years old, but as to being well or unwell, I think that if you compared the president's health, his physical capabilities, and looking at him over the past couple of months, you will realize and recognize, and you will agree that he looks very fit. I don't think he looks in any way sick. When he was sick, he came over to the United Kingdom and got treated, and he stayed under his doctor's advice. I think that the man at this point in time, that is Mr. President, looks well. He looks strong. He looks healthy. He is not feeble. Now, I think that if I may go back to Mr. Galadima's statement, I think that having sat down with other co-believers and contributed to the formation of a political party that was set on certain core ideologies, that of recovering Nigeria, I think that for you to at this point in time, to say that you cannot, on the basis of integrity, keep quiet and not speak out, and whilst doing that, you decided to move out and team up with the group of individuals who for 16 years and plus sat down and superintended over the plundering and destruction of our country. I think that it does not sit, they don't just sit well, they don't sit at the same table, they cannot sit down together and hold a meaningful discussion that you can call, that you can say is based on national development, or national pride, or nationalism. I think, as I said earlier, that it does appear to me that your disagreements and your differences with Mr. President, has colored the passion with which you came to join other patriots to form the APC.
Okay, I want to drill down at one of the very hot button issues. Okay, Buba, Buba, hold on for a second. I'm going to give you a chance to respond. I want to drill down to one of the...
I want to say that the Speaker...
You can come in if you want to.
I just wanted to say that the Speaker is a stranger. He does not know what is happening in Nigeria. He has no idea
you cannot say that, Mr. You cannot say that. You cannot say that. I refuse to accept that from you, Mr. Galadima. I'm not a stranger in Nigeria,
and I'm not a political movement. You don't know anything. Please, you are in Europe. You are not on the ground. We are on the ground.
You are in CPC.
The man has not delivered on our promises to the people. And those people who you call misfits, with whom I am sitting, are credible people. Today, as I speak to you, every thief, every rogue, every armed robber, every criminal has migrated into the APC, therefore left all the other good people of courage afloat elsewhere in other political parties. And nobody in Nigeria could call me could say, I am not a man of integrity, a man of honor, a man of foresight, and a man of courage. We will team up with our colleagues wherever we may find them to make sure that our country does not go ablaze. This is the situation. We are talking to people in diaspora who have no idea whatsoever of what is on the ground here. The killings, the marginalization, the nepotism, the high-handedness, and the dictatorship that is going
Buba, bear with me for a second.
Country.
You're talking about what's happening on the ground, right? The anti-Buhari alliance isn't the only thing the president has to worry about.
Yes.
Let's mention what's happening on the ground. In recent months, hundreds of predominantly Christian farmers have been murdered by herdsmen from the mainly Muslim Fulani ethnic group. In fact, some say the threat...
No. That is also
Okay, let me...
I say
okay,
that may not be true.
Nomadic herders and farmers have been clashing.
Buhari must take responsibility.
Buba,
just hold on.
I'm about to address a question to Philip and talk about the responsibility of the APC. You might actually agree. So we have this situation. happening in the Middle Belt. Hundreds are dying, thousands are displaced. It's been happening for a long, long time. Philip, let me ask you very directly. Has the president failed his people in failing to adequately tackle this situation between herders and farmers?
Well, I think, first of all, the challenge, the issues going on in the Middle Belt is very sad, very painful for a Nigerian and anybody for that matter to see the level of killings and destruction of properties, to see the brutality being unleashed on innocent people, on children, on women. It's not something that any Nigerian, regardless of their political persuasions or of their religion, should be proud of or should be happy about. It is very saddening. Now, has the president failed on his responsibilities? I think that in terms of security provisions, yes, there are a lot of challenges. They are massive. At this point in time, you have a country that is in turmoil at various points. You have the Boko Haram insurgency that has been largely put down. You have community killing themselves in the South region, Akwa Ibom State, for instance. You have the kidnappings that is heightened in the states like Zamfara. And of course, you have this problem that is going on in the Middle Belt. Now, it is the question of how much could be done at any point in time. I think that
do you feel enough's being done?
Looking at it, yes. When you say is there enough being done, I think something is being done. Okay. But I think that also in terms of what is being thrown at this, I think is something is being thrown at it.
Okay.
In terms of information management and empathy, I think that this is where we have problems.
Okay, Kayode, they're trying their best, even though it's a mess in the Middle Belt. Yes. The federal government's trying its best. Do you accept that and believe that?
I think you asked a direct question, and there's a direct answer to that. The answer is no. The president has failed as the president and commander-in-chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces to protect Nigerians from all sides of the divide in north-central Nigeria. And this is not just the farmers alone. Even the Fulani herdsmen, who are Nigerians and have a right to be protected, have not been protected. So everyone affected by this communal crisis that has been painted as being religious or being ethnic are victims of the incompetence of the federal government of Nigeria. The president was not elected to be president to take charge of just Boko Haram alone. The numbers of people being killed has shown that a security architecture is not going very well enough to protect Nigerians. Having said that, the question, what I was trying to say to you is that what will make Buhari get unelected are not the coalition of politicians, but how Nigerians feel in terms of the economy today. If they feel better today, then he's going to get re-elected. If they feel more secure, he's going to get re-elected. But right now, the signs are that Nigerians are not have a lot of confidence in Buhari. Are they going to give him another chance in 2019? That is for Nigerians to decide, because right now, the opposition party and the coalition and even aggrieved member of his own party are having coalitions with the same people who led Nigeria to where Nigeria is today. Okay. The same failed 16 years of the PDP and a lot of... And I don't see a coalition of an angel with those
That's an accusation that's been made by both you and Philip. So, Buba, very finally, Buba Galadima, why are you teaming up with the same people that got Nigeria into the mess that it's in right now? Final answer from you, please, sir.
Who are those guys? All the people who got Nigeria or wrecked Nigeria are within the ruling party today. They are the people running the government. Tell me any member of this government that is not a product of the PDP. All of them. These people who are coming together with me are patriotic Nigerians who could not keep quiet when they see anything going wrong. That was why they left the PDP at its height of governance and to assist Buhari to become president. If they see that Buhari is not delivering on the promises that we made to the people, that he will secure Nigerians, that he will protect life and property of individuals, which is the primary responsibility of every government, they have the right again to revolt and also say enough is enough until we find what a decent country, a decent person who will rule this country. And I want to make a correction that killings are not going only in north central Nigeria. No, Killings are going all over Nigeria. Kidnappings are going all over Nigeria. More people are being killed in Zamfara of northwestern Nigeria than all the parts of Nigeria put together. It has not been addressed. It was reported recently within this week that over 650 military men were slaughtered in Yobe, that about 7 trucks full of military people were slaughtered in Borno. This issue of killings is all over. Kidnapping is all over. Theft is all over. And all the bad people in Nigeria have now migrated to the APC. This is why we have a grudge. We thought we could run a purified government based on the rule of law. This government does not believe in the rule of law because people that were granted bail by even the courts were denied such rights. Is it jungle justice we are running? Is this what we told Nigerians that we are going to do? It is no.
Okay, and the dynamics are fascinating as the APC splits, as the organizations and these different political parties come together. We'll be watching Nigeria very closely in the build-up to the 2019 election. I appreciate you all taking the time to come together for this important discussion. Buba Galadima, Kayode Ogundamisi, and Philip Idaewor, thank you very much for joining us here on the Newsmakers.